Have you ever wondered why some parts of our world seem to have so much while others have so little? A man named Yali from Papua New Guinea once asked a scientist called Jared Diamond a very similar thing. He asked, "Why is it that you white people developed so much cargo and brought it to New Guinea, but we black people had little cargo of our own?" This simple, powerful question got Jared Diamond thinking, really thinking hard. Jared Diamond decided to write a whole book to try and answer Yali's profound question. That amazing book is called Guns, Germs and Steel, The Fates of Human Societies. It's a journey through thousands of years of human history looking for clues. Instead, it digs deeper into the very earth beneath our feet and the environments that surrounded different groups of people. It explores how the world itself, our planet Earth, played a massive role in shaping who got what and when. It's about understanding the big picture, the cosmic lottery of where different groups of people happen to begin their great adventure on this amazing planet of ours. The main message in Guns, Germs and Steel is actually quite simple, but it's also incredibly powerful. Jared Diamond tells us that the reason some societies developed things like advanced technology, big cities and powerful armies much earlier than others wasn't because the people themselves were inherently more intelligent or more inventive. No, not at all. He argues, very convincingly, that it was all down to the environment they lived in. Think about it like planting seeds. If you have good soil, plenty of sunshine and just the right amount of rain, your seeds will grow into strong, healthy plants. But if the soil is poor and the weather is harsh, it's much harder, isn't it? Different groups of people around the world started with very different environmental toolkits. Some places just happened to have more plants that were easy to grow for food, like wheat or rice. Some places had more animals that were easy to tame, like cows, sheep, or horses. These might seem like small things, but they made a gigantic difference over thousands of years. Having reliable food sources meant people didn't have to spend all their time hunting and gathering. They could settle down in one place, build villages and then towns and eventually even bustling cities. This stability was the foundation for so many other developments. One of the most fascinating ideas in the book is about something called geographical determinism. That sounds like a big, complicated phrase, doesn't it? But it just means that the actual shape and layout of the land, the geography of a place, had a huge impact on how civilizations developed. Think about the giant landmass of Eurasia, that's Europe and Asia combined. It stretches mostly east to west. Now compare that to the Americas or to Africa, which stretch more north to south. This simple difference in orientation, the direction the continents lie, made a massive difference for early farmers. Why would the direction a continent stretches matter so much? Well, places that are at a similar latitude, meaning they are a similar distance from the equator, tend to have similar climates, day lengths, and even similar types of diseases affecting plants and animals. So if you developed a really good crop, like wheat in the Middle East, it was relatively easy for that wheat and the knowledge of how to grow it to spread east and west across Eurasia. It could travel thousands of miles and still find places where it could grow well. This allowed farming to spread quickly across a vast area, supporting more people. Now think about the Americas. They run mostly north to south. The invention of farming was one of the biggest turning points in human history. It transformed our way of life, allowing us to build the world we know today. Before farming, everyone was a hunter-gatherer, constantly moving to find food. Around 10,000 years ago, people began planting seeds and growing food. This led to the development of civilizations and the modern world. Section 5, Tiny Invaders, How Germs Changed History's Game. Now let's talk about something you can't even see, but which has had a colossal impact on human history, germs. We often think of germs as just making us feel poorly, giving us a cold or a tummy ache. But Jared Diamond shows us that germs, tiny bacteria and viruses have been major players in the rise and fall of civilizations, especially when different groups of people met for the first time. It's a rather grim but incredibly important part of the story that Guns, Germs and Steel tells, explaining the germs part of its title. Where did these powerful germs come from? Well, many of the most devastating diseases that have afflicted humans, like smallpox, measles and influenza, actually originated in domesticated animals. When people started living in close contact with their farm animals, their cows, pigs, sheep and chickens, they were also living close to the germs those animals carried. Over many generations, these animal germs sometimes jumped to humans and evolved into human diseases. Societies in Eurasia, with their long history of animal domestication, had been exposed to these germs for centuries, developing some immunity to them. Section 6. Clever tools and bright sparks. The story of inventions. So far, we've seen how farming gave some societies a head start, and how germs played a surprising role in conflicts. But what about the steel part of the book's title, and the guns too? These represent technology, the clever tools and inventions that humans have created. Jared Diamond argues that the development of technology wasn't just a matter of random bright ideas popping into people's heads. Instead, it was also strongly linked to the geographical and environmental advantages we've been discussing. More food from farming meant more people, and more people meant more chances for innovation. Think about it. If a society is producing enough food so that not everyone has to be a farmer, then some people can become specialists. They can dedicate their time to other things, like becoming skilled craftspeople, thinkers or inventors. They can experiment with metals to make stronger tools and weapons, like bronze and then iron, and eventually steel. They can develop writing systems to record knowledge and pass it on. They can build bigger ships to explore and trade. Section 7. Guns, germs and steel, the winning combination. Now we can see how the three key elements of Jared Diamond's book, guns, germs and steel, all came together to shape the destinies of different peoples. It wasn't just one thing, but a powerful combination of factors, all stemming from those initial environmental differences. The societies that developed agriculture earliest, particularly in fertile regions like Eurasia, gained a cascade of advantages. More food led to larger, denser populations. These populations, living in close proximity with their domesticated animals, developed immunities to a range of diseases, but also became carriers of those diseases. These larger, settled societies also had the manpower and the need to develop more complex political structures, like states and empires. They could support specialist artisans who developed new technologies, including metalworking, first bronze, then iron, and eventually steel. Section 8. Echoes from the past. Why these ideas still matter today. You might be thinking, okay, this is an interesting story about the past, but what does it have to do with me, living in the 21st century? The insights from guns, germs and steel are incredibly relevant today. The book helps us understand the deep historical roots of global inequalities. Patterns of wealth and power were shaped by long-term processes described by Jared Diamond. Environmental factors influenced societal development, impacting international aid. Imposing one society's solutions on another might not work due to different contexts. It encourages understanding why some regions face greater challenges. Geography and early agricultural advantages still impact us today. Think about climate change, one of the biggest challenges facing our planet today. Guns, germs and steel shows us how profoundly environments have shaped human societies. Section 9. One Human Family. Understanding Our Shared Journey. Ultimately, Guns, Germs and Steel isn't just a book about why some societies conquered others. It's a book about the grand, sprawling and often surprising journey of all humanity. It helps us see that we are all part of one big human family with a shared history on this amazing planet Earth. The differences we see in cultures, technologies and societies around the world are like different branches on the same human tree, all shaped by the unique conditions in which they grew. It's a story of adaptation, innovation and sometimes sheer luck. By looking at history through the lens of geography, biology and environment, Jared Diamond encourages us to move beyond simplistic explanations for why the world is the way it is. He challenges us to think critically about the narratives we've been told and to appreciate the complex interplay of factors that have shaped human destinies. It's a reminder that no single group has a monopoly on intelligence or ingenuity. Every society has faced its own unique challenges and developed its own remarkable solutions given the resources and opportunities available to them.